I'm Aubrey Reichard-Eline, and I'm Associate Director of Development for Rutgers Cancer Institute. In April of 2018, when my then 9-year-old daughter Grace was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and then my husband, he was diagnosed with a rare form of lymphoma in 2021. So when we learned that Grace had a brain tumor, completely out of the blue, no way, shape, or form saw that coming. So we were thrown into Grace's diagnosis, like that movie moment where your life changes in a blink of an eye. That was what happened when we found out Grace had a brain tumor. Didn't see it coming at all, so I feel like we didn't really prepare. And for Dan, I have to say we kind of had an unfair advantage because we had gone through this with Grace. So approaching Dan's diagnosis and treatment was completely different. I knew who to talk to for getting the research and the information, so I was totally prepped for his doctor's meetings and appointments and everything like that. We were definitely more prepared for that. I was able to ask questions about the clinic space, to better understand how it was going to be, because we had gone through it with Grace. So I'm I know the days are going to be long and we're going to be in there. So what do I get myself into for snacks, for charging, for comfort? What are we going to need for all of us? So I was a bit more prepared and did more research for Dan's diagnosis. But I know I say don't Google, because you can go down such a dark tunnel. I would say if you have a doctor friend, I relied a lot on doctor friends. If you have a doctor friend that you can ask, for insights and stuff like that, or just how to ask questions, that's helpful. I would say if you do any research in particular about treatment or questions or options, I would always go to a reputable source. Looking at the NCIs. But the other thing I would say, from a research perspective, is being okay with taking a pause when you're in a meeting with a doctor, just saying, hold on, I need a minute, and asking, regrouping with whatever you just heard. And if you need to ask questions because something doesn't make sense, do not be afraid to ask that question. I think sometimes being in with the doctor can be very intimidating, but this is new to you. This is new to the person you're taking care of. So saying that, hey, this might be a really common symptom or a common diagnosis, but this is the first time we're going through it. So could you help me understand, when you say this, or why does he need that, or why does she, need this? Really become okay with asking that question. Don't feel stupid. Ask the question. That's something I would absolutely say I learned along the way, and that I would put in the research category of ask the questions, because I think that is such a big piece, because getting on the internet will make your brain explode. So if you need to, go to NCI, and if not, just be okay with asking questions to the doctors and taking a moment to process what you're hearing whenever you can. And it's okay. If you take extra time, it's okay. Give yourself that space and that strength and that encouragement. I'm sending that to you, that you can ask those questions to help you get through it. The thing I would say is, you'll see statistics everywhere, oh, what's the prognosis? When you see those statistics, try not to get sucked into the negative side of it. Find that glimmer of hope. And try and focus there, and again, I think being present is so important, because this time, maybe there later, it may not, and just being present right there as best you can is a gift you're giving yourself and a gift you're giving your loved one. That's so important.